Scott Dunn on the line here.
Yes, we do. Scott.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Scott.
Morning, Dr. Wolf.
Good morning.
Now, Dr. Wolf, of course, is an astronaut, and I understand you have prepared a space quiz today. Is that correct?
I have. By the way, though, Dr. Wolf, you and I actually have something in common.
Oh, what's that?
You're both male.
Right.
And?
We're both graduates of Purdue University.
Fantastic.
Yep. And I don't know if you guys...
I'm guessing he was a little higher in his class.
Boiler up.
He's ahead of me on who's going to come back and speak at commencement, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Dr. Wolf's 160 days in space is actually a record.
Is that right?
That's the longest a Purdue alum has ever gone without being contacted by the university and asked for money. That's how far you have to go to get away.
I think they managed to get a note to me up there.
All right. Well, I do have a little history of space travel quiz.
All right.
And I thought since this is the 40th anniversary of the moon landing this summer, let's start with an Apollo 11 question.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get my pencil.
All right.
You know, this doesn't weigh anything in space.
That's
right.
Bob has his gigantic pencil.
All right.
All right.
Question number 1. As they prepared for countdown, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins sat in blank for 30 minutes.
Darkness.
Urine.
Well, I would have. Silence.
Well, I was going to go for darkness.
Okay.
But,
Silence. They sat in absolute silence for 30 minutes before they finally took off.
I'll be darned.
Almost like every single person I know this summer who went to see the movie Land of the Lost.
Wow. Sorry you had to sit through that.
not funny.
Oh, wow.
Question number 2. When a circuit breaker broke on the Eagle, Buzz Aldrin was able to activate the engine switch with a blank.
Penny.
Nope.
Paperclip.
Felt tip pen.
A Sharpie. I'll
Very
be darned.
scientific. And if that wasn't redneck enough, he then strapped himself into his seat with a roll of duct tape. You astronauts,
It's amazing.
Dr. Wolf.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Moving on to space travel in general. Question number 3. In 1992, Mark Lee and Jan Davis became the only married couple to ever blank together in space.
Kiss.
Well, I don't know. Fly.
Okay.
Oh.
Fly.
Well, we're still going with that kiss thing.
Yeah.
They were the only husband and wife to ever
The
share
other
a
part
mission.
they're not talking about.
Right. They flew on the Space Shuttle Endeavour for 8 days, made 126 orbits around the Earth, and argued almost the entire time on what temperature to keep the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, too hot, too cold.
Did you touch that thermostat?
They were on opposite shifts.
They were
that mission, yeah.
handy.
It's a rule now, I thought I read, Dr. Wolf, that married couples can't go back?
I don't think that's a rule. We have several married couples in the office. In fact, one of the guys on my last mission 2 weeks ago got married a couple days before the mission.
Oh, is that
to
right?
another astronaut.
But, on the
But
same,
can
but
they
did
actually fly together on the same mission?
I think they can.
It'd be a heck of a honeymoon.
I was
Luck
going
of
to
the
say,
draw.
so on the honeymoon,
Yeah.
he was by himself? Well,
See,
maybe
that's
for some, that may be better.
I don't know. To me, that's you know, when I fantasize about traveling in space, it's usually because I want to get away from my wife.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the next one. This one always makes me laugh. While on the moon, Alan Shepard actually hit a blank.
Golf ball.
Pothole.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pothole is correct.
I don't know. Thank you.
A golf ball with a 6-iron, yeah. With the moon's lesser gravity, the ball was able to travel for miles and miles before finally hitting into a foursome of Asians.
Wow,
I'll be damned. I didn't know that they'd made it.
slow golfers, Bob.
That is
I gotta say-
weird. He had hit into a Russian spacecraft that was lodged in the moon. But
He was the first man in the
first
moon.
man in the moon.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Dr. Wolf, you didn't think that you could escape this quiz without at least one of the questions being about you, right?
Okay.
So this is in number 5. In 1997, aboard the Mir International Space Station, Dr. Wolf became the first American to ever blank in space.
Oh, you can't talk about this.
Well, if it's public record,
Yeah, right. I didn't.
If Scott knows.
it's right there in a book, Dave.
It's in Wikipedia. It's out there.
The first man to.
have decency here.
Let me see.
I know the answer, but I'm not going to say it to you.
Okay, well, let's see if we can guess. The first man to.
Oh, I know. Vote.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
That's
you,
right.
You voted
There
in
you go.
space. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm guessing they didn't make you show ID. up there.
Do they have a little polling
Special
booth there?
voting machine with foot restraints on the floor so you don't float to the top.
Did you vote for Obama?
A floating Chad. I guess
Vote
would be.
in space.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember that now.
Yeah, but that wasn't a presidential year. The first man to vote for president from space was Leroy Chow in
Yep,
2004.
Uh-huh.
And NASA, this is interesting. NASA had to work with local and federal authorities to create a special ballot. Then the ballot had to be encrypted, then emailed using a high-speed modem via satellite. Then the ballot had to be filled out, emailed back, decoded, and then recorded. And yet the entire voting process was still faster for him than it was for those of us on Earth who had to wait in line.
How true. Wow.
And final question.
Okay.
The first animal to orbit the Earth was a blank.
Chimp.
Dog.
Nope, a dog, yeah.
Laika.
Oh, that's right.
Laika was his
the
name,
Russian
I believe.
dog, right?
Laika,
That's right.
yeah, was launched aboard the Soviet Sputnik 2 on November 3rd, 1957. Sadly, though, Laika died during the flight when she insisted on traveling with her head outside of the window.
That'll happen. Poor Leica. Thanks,
Oh, good.
Scott.
Thanks, guys.
Uh-huh.
Comedian Scott Dunn. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with our guest, astronaut Dr. David Wolf. Also coming up today, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Jimmy Johnson. On our website, we have a link. You can find out about some of the great auction items that Peyton has posted as part of his special charity thing today. And we have a link to a bunch of great photographs from NASA featuring Dr. Wolf and the latest space event that Dr. Wolf was part of just a few weeks ago. We'll be right back. This is the Bob and Tom Show.